This is the LowcoSports Lowdown podcast. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr.
Hey, Loco sports fans, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr with you on a Friday night, along with Marcus Walsh, WHHI TV play-by-play maestro, the voice of the Loco. Are you the voice of the Loco now? I don't know.
Well, I actually think a lot of people think that you are, JJ.
Really?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, all right, I'll take it.
I
Used to be Guy
I
Malou,
will
you know.
I will certainly I'm humbled by
basketball
I don't know.
fan.
I think of you more for your voice than me, but
I'm humbled
I'm
by
humbled
it
as well to be in the
without
conversation.
question. I want to start
It
there.
was Monty Jet. It was Monty Jet.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I do
so,
want to start there since you brought it up, because I may have even mentioned this the other day, but I had a chance to go up to Bob and just thank him, because he has been a guy behind the scenes that, I've been able to get to know quite well with the news, being in there for sure on Mondays and whatnot. And he, outside of, a few other people at WHHI, including Wayne Morris, he was the first person I met because I was shadowing him.
He was one of the first people I met, because
I
the
was sent
first
to
event I
fill in
covered in
for
the
him.
Low Country was a golf tournament, and he was covering so much golf at the time.
Right.
And so everywhere I went,
That
there was
too.
Bob, and he was a great mentor to me as well, in like the smallest of ways, just making you
Correct.
feel included, and never making you feel less than, and never. I mean, I knew him for years before I found out he was on Sports Center.
When and that's where it started. That's where it started for me. I probably shared this story, but when I actually got to see him, he and Chuck in the booth, and I was just kind of standing in the background getting my bearings. And I turned over to Jeremy, and Bob was like right there. And I kind of quietly said as he was walking away, "Does he work with Bob?" And Jeremy's like, "That is Bob." I'm like, "Oh." And then I actually got to see him and introduce myself and say hi to him.
Yeah.
And then the light bulb clicked. And I'm like, of course. So to have a chance to, and we were kind of ribbing each other a little bit, which I'm getting much more, comfortable doing. And certainly with him, with me and whatnot, to have a chance to literally take, not take over, but to have a chance for him to pass the reins, knowing what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And for him, I'm not sure what exactly the situation was, and that's beside the point. But for him to take a step back and say, I'm going to pass the reins, literally, I know I shared this, but I will again. It was a couple of years ago. I was at the front desk on a Monday. He is interviewing and getting ready to interview, I believe the coach's name is Bobby Cremens, who coached Arkansas
Oh yeah,
and
Bobby
a few other
Cremens.
teams.
Oh, I've got some Bobby Cremens stories
He
from back in the day.
he interviewed Bobby, and I was sitting at the desk and whatnot, and Bobby looked right at Bob and he said, "So are you going to be calling high school hoops and in this area?" And Bob looked at me. He did not even flinch. He just looked at me. He said, "That's all you, partner." And I said, "I got it. I got it. Thank you."
Bobby
And
Cremens a
that's
legend.
where that
I
had started too.
If I wanted to continue this little journalistic navel gazing segment, I would tell you some Bobby Cremens stories, but I'll save it for another time, so that we can get back on track. But I love where
It's
you went with all
humbling.
that.
JJ,
Absolutely.
seriously, it's very humbling. And I'll get more into that later, because one of my idols that I've been listening to for 30 years around that has a very special weekend ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So we got a great show tonight. I mean, not a lot of news has happened since we last talked on Wednesday. Although there have been
The
some
rumor mills are still
developments.
going.
There have been some developments. I've been. It's definitely football season, because I've been on the phone more today than I have in ages, with football coaches and ads, and people are asking me questions and sharing information.
The preseason work has begun.
Yeah, Donde esta Tony is still the question of the day, and that is the title of the episode tonight. Everybody's wondering where Tony O'Banner is going to suit it up this year. As far as we know, he's still a Thomas Hayward Rebel, but he has until Thursday to be enrolled somewhere. That's the day practice starts. And he's a different case because he's not going from a high school league to a high school league. It's not member to member. He's going from SCISA.
Now,
so
here's the deal.
He could still go back to Hayward. He could still go to any
The interesting thing about this is, I'll tell you the interesting thing about this. SCISA practice have already started. SCISA practice started on Thursday.
Yeah, because they start in 3 weeks.
They sure have.
First game's in 3 weeks.
So it's an interesting situation. I mean, we have basically a free agent sitting on the doorstep of camp, and we're not sure exactly where he's going to show up. And the only reason I say there's more intrigue about it, and really the only reason we're still talking about it, is just because we've gotten information that's kind of advanced the story, which we got some insight from different people that it wasn't going to be this simple thing if you didn't live in Beaufort County to just transfer into a Beaufort County school. You're not a taxpayer in that county. There is a cost associated with each student. There was going to be some kind of tuition involved if you didn't have an address in Beaufort County. And so I think that was one thing that kind of complicated this. I think the other thing is the high school league put this rule in, and when they did, they said it allows us to kind of police this more up front in a way, and because people are now being real careful and making sure that they've got this right. And so I as I understand it, they've been able to advise some schools on whether a particular athlete would or wouldn't be eligible at their school and steer them away from making a mistake. And one way I think that I'm being told that it impacted this whole thing is the situation at Marlboro County last year was a real problem because you had a bunch of players who followed a coach across state lines.
Yeah.
And we're going to have that same issue with county lines too. And when Hampton County hired Taylor Malfris, a lot of people assumed that meant that kids would go from Hayward to Hampton. But I think they got the word that looks a lot like recruiting, and that might not look favorably on you if this isn't all on the up and up. And I think that kind of squashed some of it. Is schools got a little nervous. Some have been less nervous than others, it seems, but and there's still loopholes in there, and it seems like everybody's cognizant of wanting to operate within the rules so they don't get their season taken away from them. So I think we may see a little bit of a self-policing chilling effect here. And in fact, it came up again today because I was hit with a question from Lou Bezjak from the state, the preeminent prep writer in the state, asking about Tony O'Banner, and he had been asked if it was true that he had transferred to Colleton County. And I said, well, Colleton County's a new one. I've heard every other school in our area, but not that one yet. So I made a couple of calls, and I was told, no, we ain't talked to him. We're not planning on him walking through these doors at Colleton County. So, that kind of leaves him going back to Hayward, where there may be some fences to mend at this stage. I don't know if he hasn't been in camp. Going to one of the Jasper County public schools or going to one of the other private schools. And that's where you start going, well, shoot, he could help a bunch of those tomorrow. So I don't know. It's a lot of intrigue, and I hate to put the kid on the spot. We're not trying to put the kid on the spot. I love the kid, by the way.
It's a hard subject to bounce around because there is a ton of speculation.
Well, he's just kind of become the microcosm
he's been the
of
face
this whole situation.
Not just Hayward, but SCISA winning football. He has been the dominant guy in that that classification, and he has shown that he has the possibility of doing it at a higher classification, either in SCISA or in the high school league. So, I mean, this has been the topic of intrigue that has kind of driven the news over these last few weeks, really back in the beginning of the summer. And
that's all anybody's asking me about.
we're still not 100% sure where this is going to lead. And now we're getting to the week where he has to make his decision. It is getting to that point, and so
it's a weird, wild time.
Yeah.
The final hour of that is either like Monday night into Tuesday, right? He's got to know by like Tuesday morning, correct?
Well, Thursday is the first day
Thursday.
they
Or is
start
it Thursday?
practice, and
Okay.
the way I've interpreted the rule is that if you need to be enrolled at the school by the first day of practice to avoid any
Is
kind of
July 30th.
delay in your eligibility or anything like that. That's the way I interpreted the rule. I could be misinterpreting it or misremembering exactly how it's worded, but that's the gist of it. So, yeah. So, I mean, all the intrigue will be over in a week's time. We'll
Yeah,
know where
sure.
everybody is. And then we'll only be 2 weeks away
Yep.
from high school football that counts. We have only 2 more Fridays without high school football. We have a growing
Why?
team of interns ready to
Yes.
help us cover these games this season, which is very exciting. And you may have seen on social media, we put out a little recruitment piece for trying to beef up the Loco Student Media Initiative. All of the guys on
Awesome.
your screen will be among those ready to take you under our wing and show you the ropes at a couple of events until you're ready to fly on your own. And I love training young writers. And Marcus, I know you love working with student broadcasters, and Wes, you love working with students in whatever capacity. So we've been doing this a while with a few interns, but we want to scale it up and
We've
have
had some successful ones
team.
come through
Yeah.
going back to the early days of Loco Sports, and we want to beef it up and make it even better now that we can get some more younger people who are willing to step in and provide the coverage for their schools. And that was a dream that I had when we really got this thing going, is to have student reporters or beat reporters.
That was
if
always
you
the
will.
vision.
Yeah.
And we're getting there. I'll tell you, you met Jeremy the other night. He's terrific. And he's going to be going out to Hampton County's having a little media day next Friday, their second day of practice, and he's going to make it out there and get us some interviews with Coach Hannah and the
That's
boys.
awesome with the fact that they
Right.
do that with their own. I wonder if there's a chance. I mean,
They would love to come. They reached out to me and said, "Hey, were we invited to this thing?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know. It wasn't my event." And they said, "Oh, okay. We thought it was yours."
they
They
were
would
most
love to be
definitely
invited.
invited.
Oh, okay. Well, they didn't get the memo, but we'll make sure they get it next year. I'm sure Colleton County would love to make the trek down as well. But we have a Colleton County intern as well, a young lady named Lillian Mitchell, who is a 8th grader, going to play varsity basketball and varsity track for the Cougars, and she's going to help us cover them. She's one of our 1L basketball players, and we're working on making her our first scholarshiped 1L student for doing the media work to scholarship them to go on the road with the basketball team. So that's a big part of the vision that Rob Benson and I have been operating around as we try to get the One Loco program off the ground. And that's going to be a big step. We also have Sam Deaton, a swimmer from Bluffton High School, who is an outstanding young man. He wants to major in sport management, and he wants to get involved in all aspects of Loco. So we're excited to have him on board. Isaac Roman, who you guys have seen on the baseball field, Hilton Head High student, he's going to help us out. Got a couple of kids from Hilton Head Christian that I got on the fence. I got to get them all the way in. And then we just had another one, Holden Ware, a 9th grader at May River, who is a photographer and videographer and wants to learn the rest of the game and get access. And he's already made contact with Jakai Morrow on the sidelines, who's going to be one of our One Loco mentors as well. So if you want to get involved on that side, please get in touch and we'll get you in there. And we've got some friends in the green room who are going to be a part of all that movement as well. We'll get to them momentarily after we tell you about the sponsor of the LowcoSports Lowdown. That's our all-star sponsor, Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate closing attorney of LowcoSports and the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. Mickelson's been with us since the beginning. They can help you with all your legal needs. Best in the business, Mickelson Law Firm. And tonight they present our guests. We've got our super awesome friend, Jeff Riley, who's going to tell us about Special Olympics and talk some other stuff. And Bracken Lambert joining us as well on the Lowdown. I'm going to flip you down there. There we go. What's up, boys?
Gentlemen?
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
We have on the screen right now 3 employees of Hardyville High School. How about that? If you didn't know, Bracken and Jeff joining me on the staff this year, which is exciting.
How we break the news that I'm no longer at USCB.
Oh, okay. I guess so. I
We
didn't.
never talked about it on
I
air
guess we
before.
didn't, but yeah, that
Yeah.
was one way to break the news. I recruited
Surprise!
Bracken. I recruited Bracken from USCB, and he's going to be my partner in media tech this year. I'll be teaching a journalism class, as a matter of fact, and coordinating work-based learning. So I'm excited to get our kids jobs in the community. So very excited about that. But Jeff Riley is on the staff as well. But more importantly, he's here tonight to report on the Area 8 Special Olympics, and not just Area 8, because we got one going to nationals, right, Jeff? And it's somebody we
Yeah.
know.
Jacob, my best buddy, Jacob.
Yes. Fantastic.
That's right. Tell us about Jacob.
Well, he's a cool person. I met him in basketball last year, and
Yeah, and of course he's the mascot
Yeah,
security.
yeah,
But tell
mascot
us why.
security.
Tell us what he did that we're talking about him on the show tonight.
Recently, Jacob went to North Carolina with his dad and participated in a Special Olympics golfing event. That is Jacob there, and
There he is.
him and his dad came in second place.
So this was a father-son event?
It's
Yeah,
just unified golf,
it's
right? I don't
unified
think it had
golf,
to be
yeah.
father
Yeah.
son.
There it
No.
is.
Okay. So it's just parent-child or like a mentor-mentee kind of thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could be.
Yeah.
You could have any unified partner, just like they
Awesome.
do in basketball. But it happened to be that his
Yeah.
unified
That's
partner is his
fantastic.
father,
That is
Paul,
outstanding.
right?
Yeah,
Paul
Paul
Marasco. Yeah.
Paul Moresco, yeah.
And so they get to go to Minnesota, right, for the Nationals?
Next year, yeah.
Nice.
Summer, yeah. And the object of unified golf is they hit alternate shots.
Okay.
Like Paul would hit a shot, and then Jacob, and then Paul until yeah. That's the main objective of unified golf.
That's great.
Hey, Marcus, speaking of legendary voices, I just noticed that we had a comment from Steve Lardy, who was one of my first mentors in the business when I was the sports editor at the Parsons Sun in Parsons, Kansas. Steve ran the radio station in town, and he broadcast
Okay.
all the high school sporting events. And we rolled around all over Kansas together covering events, and he's now down in Florida. Great guy, big Minnesota Twins fan. So
All right.
shout out to Steve
Nice.
Lardy. But so Jeff, what else is going on with the Special Olympics lately? Any other headlines?
No, that's the only big headline, which is Jacob, and he's going to Columbia this weekend for like a media day, kind of. All the athletes that are going to Minnesota, they're going up there, and they're going to get uniforms for the trip coming up next year, and
Awesome.
things like that. Meet different people.
It's tremendous.
Very good. Yeah, here we go. I knew I had another picture of Jacob and his dad here somewhere after they got their second
That was when they
place
got their second
finish.
place. Yeah.
Look at that. They were very solid. Shot of 58.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were very solid.
Very
Yeah.
nice.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. So that's outstanding. And what have you been doing lately, Jeff? I know you've been involved with the softball league, right? Playing softball?
Yeah. Softball league. We had a bye week this week. So,
All right.
yeah, I'm playing church softball.
Sweet.
And
It's a good week to have a bye week. Awfully hot.
Yeah. My best mentor that got me into volunteering at the USCB is Nick Waterford.
That's right.
He's my
That's
number
right.
one mentor. So
Yeah, he's the one who pushed you to get involved with the USCB basketball team, right?
yeah, I asked him, and he got me. He's my mentor. Nick is definitely my mentor. So
Yeah.
and
Well, speaking of USCB, we had
Yeah.
some big news with them getting fully accepted into NCAA Division II. Bracken, I'm sure
yeah,
you have really strong feelings about that, having been part of that team for a long time and part of that push to get across the finish line. And I know you were celebrating along with them when they got the news.
I was there. I asked. My last day was July 3rd. We got the news on July 10th. And so I asked Quinn and Gina before I left, I said, y'all going to let me come to this, right? y'all are going to have me come to that. They're like, no, absolutely not. So no, I mean, it was 4 years of just hard work and just really putting together something. Gina worked her butt off with the application, and then just, starting men and women's basketball now 2 years ago. And then getting through that process, and, shout out to the Peach Belt for allowing us to compete for a conference championship, because that truly was kind of the turning point that I think it accelerated this process and made it a little bit more bearable than most, because most schools in that transition period don't get to compete for a conference title. And so now Middle Georgia, who was accepted into the process, the 3-year provisional process, will get to benefit from that as well. So it's another team inside the Peach.
Tremendous accomplishment for everybody involved, and you were a huge part of it. Bracken and everybody in the community played their part by really promoting the qualities that make USCB such a special athletic program, and now it's official. They're full-fledged Division II members. Just describe the emotion and celebration that went in that room when it was made official.
I mean, it was a very quick. They don't drag it out. They don't keep you hanging or anything like that. The first thing they said was, "Well, congratulations, you are D2." And if you go on to Gina's Instagram or Facebook or something like that, there's the video that I recorded, and there's also the pictures that we took. And it was, I came in on year 2 when I started during started volunteering back during year 1. But this, like JJ, we talked about this when I was a student there, and, how it could be, how this really could be. We talked about, bringing basketball and becoming D2. It was, it's a huge accomplishment, and it's really going to hopefully spearhead, the Sandshark 2020 plan to really get us there and get, just really get
My children are speaking to me.
Get things rolling. Yep.
I like how Dr. LaFavi looks like he's like, he's feeling the spirit.
Yeah, he's definitely feeling the spirit.
Feeling the spirit. I don't know what Max is talking about. The Cubs aren't playing tonight. They didn't show up to their game tonight.
They just didn't.
It's 11-3, but it was 11-0.
Battle for Chicago. Yeah.
You children can't talk to me while I'm on the live stream. Go away. I'll talk to you later.
Hey, I'll tell you what, though, the White Sox are 28 games below 500 or something like that?
Come on, man. Come on, man. Imanaga didn't have it tonight. But Jeff, you had a couple other things that you wanted to talk about tonight. We normally would save such things for parting thoughts. But we'll let you get them out of the way now. I know they're one of them. We may not share feelings because I lost all my good feelings for this guy, but a wrestling legend has fallen.
Hulk Hogan, passed away yesterday. The legend Hulk Hogan,
Yeah, he was a legend as a wrestler, but man, I didn't like some of the things he did outside of the ring. Not a big fan of some of the things he said and did, but certainly as a kid,
larger than life character for sure.
I was infected with the Hulkamania as a child. We've lost a lot of legends. We lost Theo. We lost more than 3. We lost Theo. We lost Ozzy. We lost Hulk. We lost Chuck Mangione.
Just
yesterday, I thought I saw another one that we had lost. So I don't know. We've surpassed the rule of 3s. I don't know how many there are going to be. But Jeff, what else did you had something else you sent me?
Yeah, I heard remember that famous little leaguer?
Davis.
Monet
Davis.
Davis. Yeah, she's eyeing the women's pro baseball league next year.
Pro baseball, fantastic.
Pro baseball.
I remember when she was lining up at the League World Series how many years ago, and
she was phenomenal.
Yep.
I also saw that a woman just joined the Party Animals.
Very nice.
Wow, I didn't see that.
The Banana Ball League.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So woman, I believe from Ole Miss.
Yeah, I heard they're eventually on their way to like establishing a full-fledged paintball league. I guess they've been
Oh
close
yeah,
to it.
they're well on their way.
Yeah,
got 6
yeah.
teams
They
right
have like
now.
who are the other teams? The Tailgaters or something? There's another.
The
Yeah,
tailgaters
the
and
tailgaters, the firemen,
firefighters,
yeah,
Firefighters,
firefighters.
yeah.
And then occasionally they have some one-off teams like the Aussie Drop Bears that Paul Winland played for last summer.
You got the
He's
visitors
playing
too.
with the Lexington Legends, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah, they don't have a full-on name, but they're just the visitors. They're the team that just have
Oh yeah.
just called the
gray
visitors.
jerseys, and they have visitors across the front.
Oh, they're like the Washington Generals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
They
kind of
just
like
come and
that.
drop by for a few days.
they're like the minor league team. They're like the team that those guys are hoping to become
Like the Barnstormers. Like the
Yeah.
Barnstormers.
Yeah.
They should have one called the Barnstormers, quite
That's
frankly.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, you take some of these minor league names and
Yeah, what was the one we mentioned the other day? Like some burger team from around here. I'm trying to remember.
the
Oh,
River
the Spartan
Dogs.
Burgers. The
Yeah.
Spartan Burgers.
Spartanburgers. Right.
Yeah.
The River
Hub
Dogs
City Spartan
double
Burgers.
as-
I think
When the River
USC
Dogs play the Spartan Burgers, we get the dogs against the burgers.
Yeah, burgers versus dogs.
or
Yeah.
the boiled peanuts because they
Yeah.
have
Wow.
doubled as the boiled peanuts before.
I think
Well, the
USC
Fireflies
yeah.
have a grits
Yeah.
dual personality or multiple personality. I like all the I like the multiple personalities.
I do, yeah. I
Of
do
minor
too.
league baseball.
Yeah.
Seems every year they get a new team and they come up with the most creative name. But
Well, it's just you go in the team store and they got 20 different jerseys for sale
Right.
in there.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the other night the Fireflies, it was
How was that game, by the way?
Peanuts. It was Peanuts night. It was fun. It was Peanuts night, and so they had on Charlie Brown uniforms. It was
Oh,
like white tops with the black squigglies around it. Yeah.
What,
Getting
did y'all hear
text,
about
sorry,
the,
from one of our many interns. But yeah. So Jeff, what else you got, buddy? What I know what you're doing next week. You're going to
Yeah,
work.
I'm work at the Ville. Started on
That's right.
Wednesday. Yeah, and everybody remembers Big Poppy, right?
oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I
Absolutely.
just saw
Little big
saw
Ortiz.
something. Little Poppy is getting a promotion to single A, I believe, in the Red
Oh,
Sox
nice.
organization. I saw
Really?
that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Little Poppy. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
man. So he's at single A now.
Yeah, he
Wonder if
got
they're gonna
promoted
call him
single A.
Little.
Yeah,
No,
Does
Sox
he
are.
rake? Does he rake?
I don't know. But yeah, he's.
They need him. Sox
eventually
are.
he's Phil is.
Yeah, their last out against the Dodgers. They got the time run to the plate, but it's 5-2. So we'll see what happens. But
Cubs have started their miraculous comeback from 11-0 to 11-3.
And speaking of Boston,
Maybe that's what Max.
they just those workers just left the job today. They went out on strike. The concession workers.
I saw that today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
My.
Yep.
yeah, and
Well, sorry, I missed that.
Wow.
Who's concession workers?
Fenway workers at Fenway Park.
Oh,
Fenway
they went on
Park.
strike?
yeah, the
Uh-oh.
concessions
Ugh.
workers. Yeah,
Uh-oh. Those people aren't going to be able to get any beer, and the Red Sox are losing? I'm going to be mad.
Yikes.
All right. Well, Bracken, anything else that you
how's
can
your-
avail us of? Any wisdom to avail us of?
Not on my end. I mean, soccer.
I've been going to
USCB
those.
soccer-
Oh, yeah, USCB soccer's coming.
Yes,
USCB
it
soccer
is
starts in
on
just
its
a
way.
couple
We
of-
are almost a month
weeks.
away from
Um,
the opening match of the season.
yeah,
Wow.
I spoke with Gary yesterday. Since I'm still on staff technically now, since I'm an adjunct professor.
True.
So not on the athletic staff, but still on USCB's staff. But yeah, no, Gary's excited. The girls get back in just a couple weeks, so we'll be keeping an eye on them, and I'm still going to be around. I'm going to be texting Gary and being like, "All right, I need wins."
Yep.
I know Wes. I know you're going to be there
Yep.
calling games, so it's going to be exciting. I know.
Yep, September 4th, first game of the year
Yep.
against Chowan on Finland Field. So
Let's go.
Well, I've traded in the navy and sand for the maroon and gold.
Green and orange.
Ooh.
Well,
Yeah.
man. On the
Oh
college
yeah,
side.
that's true. You're a cougar now.
I'm a Coug now. Yeah, I'm also employed by College Charleston now, so I'm helping them out, dude.
Trying to get more jobs than I have. Wearing all them hats.
Good luck. I think you still need to get about 3 or 4 there, Bracken. Get to JJ's level.
He's working on it.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
What did I say, JJ? I said media technology teacher, adjunct professor, game day staff, and professional DoorDasher.
Yeah, professional DoorDasher. still DoorDashing amongst all of that.
Yes.
That's how much money you can make in this lucrative career, children, that we're trying to lure into internships. No, it's always a grind, but it beats a 9 to 5. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Jeff Riley, Bracken Lambert, we'll see you at the
I have one
soon.
more.
You got one more thing before you go? All right, what you got?
And hopefully Gina's listed it in.
Okay.
I'm going to have to, hopefully I could go to that Francis Marion game.
Oh, Francis Marion. Right.
Yeah, Francis Marion, because I heard from Debbie Antonielli, text message, her son is going to play for them this year.
Yeah.
So
you guys may remember when Jeff was featured on legendary basketball coach Debbie Antonelli's live stream that she did for Special Olympics. She reached out and let him know that her son is playing at Francis Marion this year. Sand Sharks visit Francis Marion on what, November 14th?
Yeah,
right?
November 14th.
The men.
Flagler.
Yes.
It's not at Flagler.
It's at Flagler again? It's part of that tournament down there?
Yeah, it's the
So
southeast.
at St. Augustine. So we'll have to see if we can get you on the bus or if we can make a Lowco road trip to
Lowco road trip. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You think Rayleigh will let us go to that one?
What's that?
Do you think Rayleigh will let us take a couple days off?
I don't know about all that, but we might be able to get Jeff a day off to get on the bus with him. We'll see.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And Fudala's not denying Jeff a spot on the bus.
No, he said, all right, hop on. Yeah.
I think you have an enshrined seat wherever you want it, right?
Yeah, I think I do. And then I can interview Chris at the game. I could do an interview there. Yeah.
Go for it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lowco on location.
Lowco on location. Yeah. I can
there we go.
Get an on location interview with Chris Antonielli and ask him about.
Well, maybe we can get a Hardyville student on the bus with you to go be your photographer, your videographer, and that'll be
yeah, that'd be cool.
Makes it even better.
Yeah.
We'll just see what Mr. Rayleigh says about
Jeremy
that.
With him. Maybe we can send Jeremy.
Yeah. That Jeremy probably will be going. If all goes well for Jeremy, he'll be on them buses too. But yeah, man, good to see you guys. I'll see you next week in the Ville, and we'll get you back on the show real soon when you have news to tell us about. All right, so keep your ear to the ground on Area 8 Special Olympics news.
Okay, I will. I definitely will. Okay.
All right, take care, guys.
All right,
thanks, guys. Have a good weekend.
Jeff Riley and Bracken Lambert joining us to chat on a Friday night. Had to catch up with Jeff. Been a while since we had him on. And,
great kid. He's always
all about Maria or
he's
Jacob.
So passionate about not just USB athletics, but his Boston sports fandom, and he's been busy. He's been getting stuff done over the summer.
Sure has.
Reporting and just with Special Olympics stuff. He's a rock star over here. Right? There's no doubt about that.
It is great, and I mean this with all sincerity, with the fact that I've been through it too. I know a lot of people from Ohio and here. I worked with Kathy Kramer for a few years and whatnot. It is great to have somebody reporting that knows the ins and outs of Special Olympics.
Yep.
It is terrific. Keep up the great work, Jeff.
Yeah.
We are very proud of you. Keep it up, buddy.
It's one of those things that that often kind of slips through the cracks because it's not like traditional sports coverage necessarily. So it kind of falls into news, but it's sports, and so I'm glad that Through the
It's the
friendship that
feature
I've built
story.
with Jeff, that it's opened up an avenue for us to put it here where it belongs, with the sports news, So no, I agree completely, and I'm so excited to have Jeff working at our school this year. He's going to be so impactful for our
And you said
students.
he's going to be doing a little bit of everything, right?
Yeah, he's going to be a paraprofessional. So, as Rayleigh said today, he's going to have a clipboard and a list of stuff to do all day. He's going to have a schedule. He's going to have responsibilities, and he's going to help people out where they need help. But he wants to be really involved with athletics, so he's going to be kind of our general athletics manager type person who helps us with whatever needs helping with. Go flip the laundry, or go fill up the water buckets, or what have you, empty the trash, those kinds of things that need to be done right before the game.
I know it well too.
So it'll just be an extra hand on deck, game day manager.
Operations,
and going to be just a great inspiration to our kids, to our students. So really excited. And then Bracken, I couldn't be more excited to have Bracken come on to
that's
the
really cool
media tech team. He has experience teaching it in a curriculum, and I'll be able to mentor him.
Really cool.
I have for a number of years.
You guys working together.
Teach kids journalism. I
think that's pretty cool to have you guys
kind of full circle.
Yeah,
kind of full circle.
Yeah,
pretty cool. Just got to bring Carlo, Wes, and Max to the Ville. And Brooke has her star.
I know she's moved on to bigger and better things.
She's a rock star, and quite frankly, Taylor Michael as well.
Yes,
she's done big things at Furman, and is awesome. So we're proud of the kids that got their start with us, and
indeed,
we'll take whatever small amount of credit is deserved in helping them get on their way. But they did it themselves.
Fantastic.
So how about some sponsors? We got Hudson's Seafood House on the docks. That's the sponsor of Under the Bus. New episodes every Monday. If you want to hear more wisdom from Marcus and I's mentor, Bob Stevens, you can catch him with Curry Kirkpatrick and Rich Vasirico talking sports and throwing people under the bus every Monday night on the Lowco Media Network. Sponsored by Hudson's Seafood House on the docks. Great place for seafood, sunsets, and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. Our newest sponsor, thanks to Jeff Riley, and I owe him a commission check. Twinge and Twombly, personal injury attorneys. They're over in Beaufort. You'll not forget the name. It's a rare one, and you'll not forget the remarkable service from Twinge and Twombly. So if you're looking for a personal injury attorney, you can't forget the name, Twinge and Twombly. God, it's fun to say. HHI Windows and Doors. Coach Barron, our old friend from Hilton Head Prep, has taken on a new venture, and he's improving your view of the Lowco with HHI Windows and Doors. So if you need an upgrade in that department, you know who to call.
With this new venture, with this new venture, he's trying to help you not break the glass. He was looking for dunks, broken glass on the backboards. Now trying to not break the glass.
We're not crashing the glass.
Not crashing the glass. Not crashing the boards.
There you go.
Anything but.
Not a lot to talk about right now, except for football. But if you'd like, we can play a little game where we go through the replies to Lou's request for who are the teams worthy of ranking in your area, and we can get a feel for some of them. Or we can break down some offensive positions if you want to try to do that.
I like the idea of trying to kind of break these teams down, especially from hearing from the coaches that we heard from the other day, and starting to get a sense of the overall piece of it all.
10-4.
As it stands right
now. I've got the email thread pulled up here, and obviously we'll skip over 5A because we don't have a rooting interest in that. But in 4A, some teams to watch according to our colleagues around the state. AC Flora has got a lot of talent on offense, especially quarterback and wide receiver. Defense is a question mark, top 10 worthy. Camden's breaking in a new QB and lost some key pieces with graduation, but should be contending for second place in the region behind South Point and Flora. Remember, is South Point and Flora a lower state this year? Because if they are, man, that would thicken the plot. Charleston area doesn't really have 4As right now, except Bishop England.
Yeah, well, the realignment the same as what it was last year. It's the second year of the alignment.
Yeah.
So, South Point's still there's for 3 upper state. Did you?
Okay.
Yeah.
South Point, Flora. Is Flora also up?
Flora. Are they?
Flora?
They're upper state too. They're 3, region 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes they've been lower state, but not this.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Is sometimes
Yeah.
that one
they're
goes.
with the
I guess
Columbia
South Point would
schools,
never
like
be.
Traer and Camden and Richland Northeast, all those Columbia area schools. Then South Point's in there too. Yep.
Bishop England obviously looks like I mean, they were the defending region champion, and they return quarterback, running back, top linebackers,
They'll be a
and
contender.
I'm told that they did well on the transfer side of things too, which you'd expect. Private school tends to bring some kids
They're
in,
going to be
especially when they have success. That's all 5A.
Yeah.
4A, nobody in that guy's area. Grand Strand.
I know Ian Guerin has a
South
read
Florence, a lot of
Yep.
new pieces at South Florence, but still loaded. Look like a top 5 team. Hartsville freakishly talented with younger skill guys moving into the mix. Top 10 team. Keep an eye on Darlington. Could be a top 10 team as the season goes along. And then let's see. Up in the Greer area, Greer's not very good. Nobody else is very good in 4A, he says. No shade to anybody, by the way. We're just telling you what they told us.
Right.
South Point, most talented South Point team from top to bottom that I've seen in a while. That's
Wow.
what Brandon
That's saying
Stockdale
something.
says. Loaded at the skill
Oh.
positions, especially at running back and wide receiver. The quarterback's back for his senior year. They'll be strong up front on both sides of the ball. Added 3 guys in the transfer window from Rock Hill, Lancaster, and Northwestern that I think could contribute a lot. Defensively, they got 2 linebackers who will cause issues for people in an active secondary as well. So that's the kind of thing that Bluffton's up against if they get to a state championship game, is South Point, and they're going to have to get through South Florence. So, Ludge wants to tell us about all these offers, but they're spread out in like 3 guys or 4 guys. Like South Florence has like probably 8 guys that are going D1. Like, it's just on a different level with some of these teams. So I hope that Bluffton can look, man. I want somebody from the Lowco to win a state championship more than anything. I'm just saying, let's not get out over our skis just yet and start talking about anything too prematurely, because South Point and South Florence are still sitting out there. So that's some of the teams, and we haven't heard from everybody yet, but that's some of the early chatter about who's going to be good in 4A. And I still think that the region is up for grabs.
Absolutely
I think
is.
certainly Bluffton has put its best foot forward here with their offense is going to be really good, but I'm not convinced that Hilton Head isn't going to be pretty dang good.
I'm not convinced either.
And that Buford is going to be a problem. Like, you're going to have to be able to stop the run with Buford with those road graders they're going to have up front. May River is always pesky. I mean, they knocked Bluffton out in the playoffs last year. And Colleton, I talked to Coach Myers today, and he said, I don't want to get too excited, but like, yeah, we got a little juice. Like we might have a little something. So it's going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be a dogfight. I think all the teams are going to be pretty well prepared for the playoffs, but I also know that looking back over the years, we get into that second round and beyond, and it gets to be tough sledding in 4A. So we'll see. We'll see who can make a run, but I'm certainly excited, and we'll see where Tony lands as well.
I have an off-the-wall question.
Okay.
if we have a second here. I eventually am going to make a trip out to Charleston again. I haven't been out to Charleston in years.
Really?
But I had mentioned that that the chaplain from John Paul II is out that way now, and he's going to be the
Oh, right.
chaplain
Bishop
at
England.
Bishop England, and
Yeah.
he's going to be certainly doing a bunch of stuff with churches. He's got a whole bunch of jobs. He was one of the top parochial vicars at St. Gregory the Great, and he just left about a month ago or so. How's Bishop England's baseball team?
Very good.
Because obviously I'm going to be,
Very good.
very heavy duty here with football and basketball. The spring might be a time for me to get out to Charleston on a
They're
weekend.
traditionally
a
very
quality
good.
baseball team this year. I mean, really
Yeah.
across the board, basketball was strong this past year. I mean, they've been able to get some talent to come over to that school. I mean, they won the Carlisle Cup. They had the best all around athletic program in 4A this year.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
Not surprising. They're solid
Yeah.
around the board. Yep.
Yeah, excellent baseball program. They always have dudes, like D1 dudes, or draftable dudes. So yeah, they're a good one to check out. If you can catch them when they're playing like Somerville or somebody, you might see a bunch of scouts lined up along the fence. It's some pretty serious baseball up there in Charleston with some of those teams, and you'll see a lot of scouts. So yeah, Bishop England has had some excellent baseball players over the years. So yeah, they're worth checking out. I think if we're being real, we're talking about those 4A teams and going deep in the playoffs. Of the high school league teams, who has the best chance to win a state championship? Is it Bluffton?
If they don't beat themselves, and that's what Coach Gregory was talking about a lot the other day,
Yeah.
especially with the fact that, we saw them a bunch and just how explosive they are. If they can get everybody to do their job and, unite, and if they don't beat themselves with mistakes and penalties and turnovers, I think Bluffton
You know what?
at the top of the region.
Hampton County, because they're in
Right.
2A, and I think there's
Right.
a path for them.
And Hampton County in 2A for sure
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, no, not. I think if those teams play each other, Bluffton's more talented team. I'm just saying which
Right.
team
No, I'm following you. Yeah, who has the best chance of the high
I
school league?
think Carleton County has a little bit of an easier road. I think
Hampton.
4A has
Yeah,
generally
Hampton,
been a gauntlet as you get towards the playoffs, and you got to go through some quality teams in the Grand Strand region. And not saying Bluffton can't do it, but I think that if Hampton County shows that they're capable of and builds on what they did the last couple of years, and obviously Singletary's he's a stud. They've got some other pieces that are coming along. I still am high on that Hampton County program, and I think the margins were thin. Like I'll tell you what, if they won that first playoff game that they lost in a heartbreak fashion last year,
they lost at Manning. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
I think Singletary got dinged early in that game and was on crutches for the end of it.
I think I gotta say Hampton County is the team most likely.
That's kind of what I was getting at, is like, as good as Bluffton might be this year, and they certainly have the potential to be like the best team in the area. I don't know, like, again, South Point.
I'm gonna get back in.
Yep. South Point is sitting there. In the meantime, you look at 2A, and I think it's just a little bit more climbable hill. That's just. But I don't know that Hampton's going to be quite as good as they've been. The one thing I worry about is just the inexperience at quarterback. I know Terrell Grant is a terrific athlete, and he's going to make plays. Probably a better athlete than Chris Terry, raw athleticism. But having a quarterback who's done it for 3 years, and you can give him complicated play calls and checks and things at the line, and he can process all that stuff in real time. That's really underrated. And they'll have some battles early on, I think. As they. Yeah, so I think that'll hurt them at times, but early in the season they should primarily be able to run the ball and keep it fairly vanilla and be okay. But that Carleton Hampton game is very interesting to me, because Carleton always really gets up for it. I think that the gap has closed a little bit, and the results have been fairly close. So So that'll tell us a lot. But yeah, I'm kind of with US. I think Hampton, pound for pound in their classification, might have a better shot. I tell you, 1A is the most winnable one, right? Or is Abbeville still in that sucker?
Abbeville has
Yeah,
been
they're still in there. No, that's not winnable anyway. Bamberg, man. So guess who Bamberg got? So this is the other thing. This is the problem with Hampton. The losses are not insignificant. Bill, Javen Risher, aka Bill, going to Hilton Head. Hurts. And then they also lost Jordan Beauvain. They lost Jordan Beauvain to Bamberg.
He was really solid.
And he was electric. And so, they're gonna probably have to play more guys both ways than they.
And they lost Chris Myers, who was a great assistant coach over there.
Yeah.
That question.
But they picked up Taylor Malphus, who's a pretty dang good.
Oh, that's a good. That's good. Yeah, good ad.
Yeah. So, no, I think they're going to be pretty good. I think they'll be quite good and be a contender into it as well.
I mean, you can make the case for Bluffton. You can make the case for Hampton County. I think just with the high-end octane offense of Bluffton, can the defense find a way to piece together some stops? Because if the defense can play the challenge of the best squads in that, I mean, offense could potentially go toe-to-toe. Now, it's on paper. How will it play out in the field? That's a different question. But I mean, Bluffton's going to be an exciting team that has the possibilities of doing something pretty special this year. But I think you can make.
But we're still at this time of the year too, where you don't know for sure who all is going to actually be there.
Right.
I mean, until that kid walks through the doors the first day of school, unless they've been at summer workouts every day. You don't know for sure, and not everybody's been at summer workouts. So some of those guys you have penciled in are going to fall through, and that's just real. And the more players you have, the higher number of those you're going to have. So, it's still a transitional period. And as I told our intern Jeremy, I said you only got to kind of fake it and talk about this and that for a couple more weeks, and then we get to talk about what actually happens. And that's way more fun to me. This speculative stuff is fine to fill the time, but I like to cover the games and talk about what happens.
It's fine when it's going on and when you get concrete stuff.
Yeah.
But to speculate just to speculate.
Right.
I mean,
well, and that's what I've heard all kinds of, we talked about Tony, obviously, because everybody's talking about it, but there's other kids from various schools that I've been told things, like, oh, he's not going to workouts, and they say kids say he's going somewhere else, and I'm not going to report on all that crap because who knows what's what.
And I'll say,
and a lot of kids talk.
Along with that, there are certain things that you find out on a whim. Like I found out in the midst of an interview on Tuesday, just smack dab as I'm about ready to finish it. And I had nothing else to say, but there you go. You heard it from the source. I mean,
that's our job, is to ask questions, and sometimes the answer catches you by surprise.
Correct. And it for sure did. That's the other side of it, where if you get a surprise nugget, that's something that you get and you go with. But, just the constant speculation just to speculate, after a while, it's just us hearing ourselves talk.
Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely is. So yeah, I guess Bluffton tentatively, but I'm still not sure. I'm just not sure they're going to win the region. I'm just not. Like,
it's going to be fun.
No,
I don't think they bring a whole lot back on the offensive line, which is a little worrisome.
A little concerning.
I think Hilton has trouble.
I'm not trying to be an anti-homer, but I think Bishop England is still the team to beat. I think.
Oh no, I agree. I agree completely. But then I'm not even sure Bluffton. Like, I'm not sure who places the top out of Beaufort County.
Yep.
Because
it's wide open. I could see Hilton Head doing it.
And the matchups are just so. The teams are so different. I mean, every team in the league is a tough matchup for Bluffton, but Bluffton's also a tough matchup for every team in the league, right? Like, I love that part. I love that Bluffton's kind of like which one of these is not like the other one. Sure can.
Yep.
And he loves Bill Risher and that outside linebacker roll down safety spot. second coming of Jalen Sneed. Remember, his older brother, Catman, and Jalen Sneed were like doppelgangers. They looked like the exact same dude on the field. And Bill's about the same dude. So we got to call him Bill now, by the way, because I talked to like 3 people today about him, and they all called him Bill. So he's just Bill. Speaking of which, Catman and Bill have got to be the best 2 nicknames for brothers that I ever heard of. Catman and Bill.
The law firm of Catman and Bill.
Sounds like
I don't know how Bill got his nickname, but we got to find out.
I was gonna say. Love it.
His name's Javen. I don't know how he got the nickname Bill. I got to find out from his mama. She'll let me know. No, I think that region's going to be amazing.
Could his
I think
middle name be William?
Could be. I thought about that.
Yep.
But I hope not. That would be too tame of an explanation. I want it to be like some crazy story, like you got to have a crazy story for when you're a little kid that got you that nickname. But no, 3A Battery Creek, they're not going to sniff the top 10 anytime soon, but I do think that team's going to be much improved. They got some beef up front. Chase Olsen is back, and they're better with him than without him. Yes, everybody would agree on that. Again, he's got to win over his teammates again, but I believe he'll do that. He's a charismatic leader.
I don't know if he said this to you guys, but Ed told me, Coach Susie told me that, they've got a starter already set for game 1, and it's obviously not Chase Olsen.
Yeah, gotcha.
So
he's got to earn his way back, and I love that.
What I was going to say is that he's not going to start right away.
Yeah. Well, and that to me says more about the program they're building there than anything else I could have learned on Tuesday. Is that the players have taken ownership and are holding each other accountability to the point that they told this guy, "You're going to have to fight your way back in here," And I love that for them. Mind
you, too, I interviewed Ed Susie before I interviewed Bryce Lybrand, and he told me who their starting quarterback was. I had figured back then, during that interview, I'm going to be talking to Buford and Bryce Lybrand about
Chase.
Who was that? And I brought him up. What's that?
Who was that starting quarterback? I don't know.
Nate.
Najjar? Nate Najjar?
That name doesn't sound familiar. I'll get that for you.
Nate Najjar is a wrestler, so that's what I thought maybe. But Eddie Hayward is a tough little back for them.
Yes.
And they got some big dudes on both sides of the line. They're in that region with Oceanside, which is Murderers Row, but I think they'll be all right. And then, Hampton, I think, is the stronger of the 2A teams in our area over Whale Branch right now, but I don't think it's a huge margin. I think Whale Branch could surprise some people with some young talent. And although I think they may have lost a couple to the portal. I know they lost Raheem Saunders to BA. I'm not sure who else. And then in 1A, I think Ridgeland and Hardyville are both going to be on the come up. I think they're both going to be pretty strong teams in 1A. And we're going to have a real Donnybrook at the stadium up in Ridgeland for the Jags homecoming. They had the audacity to schedule the rival for the homecoming. We're going to have to try to do something about that.
I'm very excited to see both those teams in my first 2 games. I've got, of course, Ridgeland hosting Whale Branch in game 1 on September 5th, and then September 12th, Hardyville at Hilton Head. And I'm expecting, from what I heard from both coaches, obviously knowing Ridgeland a little bit more, I'm expecting big things out of both programs, and I'm very impressed with what I saw out of both those teams to start my day on Tuesday with interviews. I think they're both going to be pretty good.
I really like Coach Alexander. I'm glad he got that opportunity at Ridgeland. He's been on the staff
Coach
there
Gardner
for a little while
me
now.
As well.
And Coach Alexander's just every interaction I've had with him, he's a stand-up dude. He's about the kids first, and so I'm excited for him to get that opportunity. And then Coach Gardner is outstanding. I've known him for years. People don't realize because he's a first-time head coach, but he's getting his 20-year award from the South Carolina Football Coaches Association on Sunday at the convention. So, he's been on staffs for 20 years now, all over the Low Country, and worked with a lot of great coaches and learned from them, and now gets the opportunity to lead his own program. And, Tyree Simmons has been helping us out as strength coach over the summer, getting those guys in shape. And you guys know about Tyree, and he's a Jasper County kid who went on and played at Baylor, and has been coaching at Thomas Hayward the last few years and defensive coordinator over there. So we're excited to have him training the kids this summer, and I think we'll make some noise. And then, over on the Skeeza side, HHCA looks like a big time contender in 3A again. Reed McCollum is everything and more, and a bag of chips. He's tough. Joey Haupt caught 1 million passes last year, and he's back. They got Thomas Gem over from Hilton, or from JP2. They're going to have some weapons. JP2 still kind of rebuilding right now. They're young, but I think they'll be improved. They'll have some talented young guys this year. I think they'll be improved as well. I think Hilton Head Prep is a legitimate Skeeza 2A team at this point. I think they're going to beat some people and finish in the top half of that region. Really, I do. They've got some size and some depth. And then in 1A, man, it all depends on Donde, esta Tony, because he's truly the kind of player that in that league, if you got him, you're a state championship contender, probably the favorite. And if you don't, you're probably not in the mix. I mean, it's a big difference at that level. I think Colleton Prep is going to be a whole problem. I think Patrick Henry's a little down right now. They're kind of, building back up. But I think BA is going to be sneaky good too.
I agree. I think they're going to be a little bit more than sneaky good. I think they're going to be quite good.
They've had a lot of turnover the last 2 years with some big dogs who really carried that program. But Nick Underwood is electric. It sounds like Nick Shuford may be playing quarterback, which, he's shifty, and coach's kid, got the head, can be coached hard by his dad and not getting his feelings about it. Cooper Evans, I'm telling you, freshman tight end is going to be a whole problem in Skeeza 1A. And they just run a good program. They got kids committed to it, and they're going to be tough. I wish we would have gotten to see them at media day. That was a bummer.
Yeah,
Fripp's
and that's
Devin Fripp still hasn't graduated, has he?
No, he's still there.
Yeah, he's back.
That's what I was alluding to earlier. I think you were talking about the media initiative about reporters and whatnot. I'm sorry, that was my mistake. Second one I've made this week. That was totally my mistake. I thought you were talking about by Buford Academy, the football team, and were they invited? And that's what I said. Yes, they were.
It was Hampton County
Susan
that
definitely invited them, and Hampton County wanted to know. I pushed for them. I pushed for them with Susan and whatnot. I think it was just a little bit too late.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately,
well, they'll show up with bells on if you want them next year. They will appreciate it.
We will definitely take them, I'm sure.
All right, boys. Let's get our last round of sponsors in, and then we'll do our parting thoughts and call it a night. Base Hit Life is our baseball and softball themed apparel sponsor. If you want to look good on the diamond and live your best base hit life, get to basehitlife.com. Dr. Ambrose Cole, our official chiropractor, find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. Reverence Wrestling Club is our official wrestling sponsor and presenting sponsor of the Lowco Grind. We'll get that back up for you in wrestling season. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country is getting those floors so clean your feet will thank you. And Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. All right, parting thoughts, gentlemen. Marcus, you're leading off tonight.
I'll start off with another mistake that I made the other day, which affected things. I was shuffling through notes and I got a score completely wrong. I was talking with Hilton Head Prep, and I was talking with Doug McFadden, and we were talking about the JP2 game, and I flipped it. And I knew as soon as it came out of my mouth that I had made the mistake. For that, I apologize for sure. I think Hilton Head Prep definitely is going to be a factor, and I'm eyeing that October 10th game against JP2. I think it's really going to be a good game.
Good game for both teams.
Absolutely.
It's a big game. Even though it's a non-region game.
It's one where you could see it go either way. Those are the fun ones.
Yeah.
Well, it's just two teams that need every dang win they can get, and that's one that they both circle as I think we can win this one, and so it's a big one.
Yeah, and JP2 went in obviously that year. Actually, last year, I was on the show with you, Wes, because you were there, and I was on after the game. I saw the score and I was stunned. So my apologies with that. Certainly, the main thing that I wanted to get to, and making mistakes, building off of those,
part of the game,
all part of the game. And somebody, speaking of next pitch, somebody that has done it and has done it great for 36 years in Cleveland, Ohio, and beyond that with multiple sports under his belt, baseball, football, basketball, you name it, coming from a little town in Wisconsin all the way to Cooperstown. Tom Hamilton's going into the Baseball Hall of Fame tomorrow. I'm getting emotional just talking about it. The Ford Frick Wing, and at 3 o'clock,
I spent more time in that wing than any other wing in that place. I'm telling you the truth.
Yeah. And I watched, 25 minutes of him talking to reporters the other day. And obviously, I've been listening to his calls since 1995 when he was doing games with Herb Score. I had the privilege and honor of meeting the man and catching a game in the broadcast booth with my assistant principal at the time in high school, who coached his broadcast partner, Matt Underwood, at the time, back in 2006. And Tom couldn't have been nicer to an 18-year-old kid that just wanted to absorb everything. And Matt certainly as well. Matt Underwood's a big reason indirectly of why I chose where I chose to go to college, which was in his hometown of Ashland, Ohio. Phenomenal town. Great people. Can't wait to get the Funky Bunch there. And I can't wait to get back to Ashland as well. Just an honor. And anybody that's a baseball fan, especially of listening to it on the radio, if you don't know the name Tom Hamilton, you're not paying attention. And I don't mean to say that just because of what's happened over the last couple of years. He's a legend and somebody that I've had a chance to follow for a long time, and a big reason of why I wanted to get into sports to begin with.
Isn't it crazy how many of us were really lured to this by baseball on the radio specifically?
Yeah,
it's because there's nothing like it. There is nothing like it.
There is nothing else. And just being attached with your hometown guys, that's one thing. But just to hear all the different voices, I mean, even listening to Vince Scully in his last year with the Dodgers,
he was my favorite.
I mean,
Vince Scully and John Miller, and obviously Harry Carey.
The late Bob Uecker,
Denny Matthews. I grew up. Oh yeah, Bob Uecker. I grew up on
Bernie
Denny
Harwell
Matthews
in Detroit.
Yeah. My first car was a 1979 Buick LeSabre with the AM radio, so I listened to a lot of Denny Matthews on the Royals broadcast. And that man had quite a career for someone who always sounded like he had marbles in his mouth. But he's damn good at it.
Yep.
So, all right, Wes Kerr, you got a parting thought?
Speaking of Tom Hamilton, of course, the Baseball Hall of Fame induction weekend is coming up this weekend. The players getting enshrined in the Hall of Fame, of course, the great Ichiro Suzuki, but CC Sabathia as well. And there is a crazy story regarding Sabathia.
How about that?
Yeah, he was on his way to Cooperstown and his car broke down as he was making his way towards the Baseball Hall of Fame. And they posted on X, Twitter. They were looking for a ride to the event, but thanks to the power of social media, they were able to find one, and he got to Cooperstown. So, good for him.
I'll tell you, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, even like there's little towns, but they're like 10 miles apart.
Yep.
And so, if your car broke down on the side of the road, you're kind of SOL.
Yep.
But Glad that social media users could come to his
that is the good power that social media has. And then if you're looking for something to watch this weekend, the championship of the Athletes Unlimited Softball League starts tomorrow from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. It'll be on ESPN. It's the Talons against the Bandits in a best-of-3 series.
Those are the two teams I've been trying to decide between. I like the Talons because of the inadvertent, presumably, Napoleon Dynamite reference.
Oh.
Do the chickens have large talons? Do the chickens have large talons? But I really like the Bandits color scheme and vibe more, if I'm being honest. I don't love the Talons logo. It looks very clip art. So I think I'm going with the Bandits.
All right.
Against my better judgment. I wanted to be for the Talons, but I just can't get down with their logo. Looks very little league. But go Bandits, I guess. Go AUSL. I think the AUSL is awesome. I hope they expand it. I love the concept. It's kind of similar to the concept of banana ball in the terms of, the barnstorming or the PLL, the lacrosse league.
Yep.
That's the way they're set up, where they play several games at one site each weekend. And
I like that.
It's really it's an interesting solution to a real problem with these upstart leagues of the investment in facilities in cities where you're leaning on the same population to always fill a stadium. It's hard to do, but when you take the show on the road and you got these rabid, fan bases for a sport in these places that can come out and
I
see
believe the
it.
Professional Women's Hockey League also do that.
Yeah, it's a new model that seems to be working pretty well for some of these niche sports. So I like it. And it just opens up an avenue, and hopefully we can get these people paid more and more as they bring on more sponsors and stuff. But all right, and then I've got a couple parting thoughts. One, a happy birthday, and you'll never believe it, but Sage Bradshaw is still only 16 years old.
Still 16.
This man has done so much already in his golf career. He's such an impressive young man.
Beyond his
we've
years.
had the chance to talk to him and have him on the show, and he's still only 16 years old. So
beyond his years.
just an incredible young man. I think we're going to see him playing professional golf someday. I really, really do. I think he's got that
mentality. Yep.
I think he's strong enough mentally.
Not only Bryson Nimmer's footsteps, also from Milton Christian Academy. Yep.
Yeah, keep an eye on that one. He's a good one. And speaking of golf, don't know if you guys have watched it yet, but Netflix is now streaming Happy Gilmore 2. And after reading some negative opinions about it and going into it with standard low expectations for a sequel that's so far removed from the original, I have to say it massively exceeded my expectations. I mean, if you think it's going to be like an award-winning film, then you're probably not going to like it. But if you think it's going to be the sequel to Happy Gilmore and have a million hilarious cameos and callbacks and really fun performances from PGA Tour golfers, then you're going to love it. It was really fun. It was a great distraction from the world for a couple hours.
I watched the interview that Julie Bowen did. It was either on The View, and I only watched this because it was like on YouTube or something. It was either The View or
it's
Jimmy
okay.
Kimmel.
It's okay to watch The View, Marcus. We're not going to share it.
It's true. I think it was The View, and she was explaining, and talking to Adam. I'm sounding like I actually know the guy, and talking to Adam Sandler, right? And talking to Adam Sandler, she was watching and seeing who was going to be picked for certain roles and that type of thing with the movie. And then she talked to him, and he's like, "So you going to do this or not?" And she's like, "Heck yeah, I'm going to do this." And so it was just initially, I think, like, she wasn't sure. And she was talking about, talking to her kids, and they were just like referring to her. If I said this to my mom, she'd be like, "What the heck are you talking about?" She said her kids were like calling her on the phone and talking to her, mind you, and they were like, "Hey, bro, what's up?
Yeah, you got to do it, bro. You got to do it, bro.
Yeah, you got to do it, bro.
That's what they do.
Yeah, wild.
That's what they do.
It's gonna be great. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be
It's a good
pretty
time.
awesome, I think.
It's a good time. Bad Bunny was hilarious to me as his caddy. He was a riot. Yeah, it was good. I mean, there's a twist at the start that'll throw you for a loop and make you mad a little bit for a minute, but you get over it. It's okay. It's okay. They had to do it to carry the plot. Just trust me. I won't spoil it, but you should watch it. It's worth your time. Unless you hated the first Happy Gilmore, and then you probably shouldn't watch it because you're probably not going to like it. If you like the first one, you're probably going
I
to like
love
it.
the first one.
So, yeah.
My
you're
name
gonna
is
like it.
Happy Gilmore.
You're going to enjoy it. You learn his middle name too. It's not what you think. Yeah. All right, boys. Well, on that note, let's wrap it up. And I suppose we'll be back Monday night after Under the Bus, unless something comes up and we have to bump to another night. But actually, you know what? Under the Bus has to go off late Monday night. So we're going to bump to Tuesday. So we'll see you for the next Lowdown on Tuesday night. And we'll be into teachers back to school.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, a week away from. Yeah. Teachers return on Wednesday, I believe.
We're back Monday, brother.
Oh, Monday. Okay.
Yeah.
Earlier than I thought.
Back at it.
Yeah.
So we'll take a couple days off here. We'll have Under the Bus on the Lowco Media Network, 9 p.m. on Monday. And then we'll be back Tuesday night for the LowcoSports Lowdown. So thanks to Jeff Riley and Bracken Lambert for jumping on and chatting with us tonight. Thanks to all of our sponsors, especially the OGs, Mickelson Law Firm, always looking for more sponsors to support this community endeavor. And thanks to all of you for showing up to listen or watch. You're the reason we do it. For Marcus Walsh and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Till next time, go Lowco.
The Lowco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Lowco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Lowco.